What is going on with the housing market and what can we expect for 2025? I think that's the question on all of our minds. I just finished a great conference with Dr. Joey von Nesson. You've heard me mention him before, and he does an excellent job of helping us understand the indicators that will impact the housing market and things like labor, inflation, and all those big economic terms that we hear thrown around the internet and on the news. So I want to kind of distill a little bit from his talk today so that you can expect to learn a little bit about what's going to happen with housing in 2025. Let's jump right into it. Thanks to our local association for putting on this great event. So let's kick it off. Consumer confidence is low. We've known that for quite some time now, but we are starting to see some recovery, which is great. And the biggest indication of that is that we're starting to see wage growth increase and outpace inflation rates, which means that people now have a little bit more spending power than they did. Dr. von Nesson is giving South Carolina's economy a B+ right now, and I think that's pretty good. We're seeing steady economic growth and unemployment is still pretty low. We're moving away from that pandemic bubble where everything kind of shot through the roof, and we're moving towards a more sustainable growth rates. Okay, two different recessions here. One that was in 2008, 9, 10 that we all remember. It took us about 7 years to recover from all lost jobs. After the COVID pandemic, it took us about 2 years to recover. So we moved to much faster employment recovery, which caused inflation to go up. $6 trillion was put into the economy to stimulate the market. And so that's going to increase demand for goods, which is going to increase prices, and that is going to cause inflation to rise. And when inflation rises, it's going to impact the housing market. So we did have a bubble that formed following the 2020 recession. We had a ton of sales, housing sales in that time, and we're just now adjusting back to where we were in the 2019 kind of pre-pandemic housing market. The correction period is now behind us. We do not expect housing prices to go down. We are still seeing an increase in prices, just at a slower rate. And that's what this graph is explaining. The growth rate of home values is slowing, but prices are not going down. So this is a more normal, steady pace that we like to see. And this is the pace that we saw before COVID. Don't let this slide deceive you. So we are seeing unemployment rates increase in South Carolina, but honestly, we're the fourth fastest growing region in the country. So a lot of people are moving here and it's taking them a little bit longer to find jobs, and they get incorporated into these unemployment rates. Average unemployment rate in South Carolina during periods of economic expansion, so during good economic boom times, is around 6%. So we're still in a really low unemployment percentage for the state historically. So is a recession looming? No, there's a lower risk for recession, and I'll tell you why. We are seeing strong consumer spending, but we are seeing the inflation rate potentially go up because of what's called shelter costs. So the cost of housing may increase the rate of inflation, and that is going to drive things like mortgage interest rates, which we want to come down, but we aren't expecting anytime soon. But for the most part, things are good. Labor shortages are persisting, but we might see things like government spending go up. So the bottom line here is that we are seeing demand start to pick up. Inventory is still pretty low. So we don't see, like I said, home prices going backwards. We probably can't expect a major dip in mortgage interest rates. But in terms of the overall economy for our state and our region, things are moving into a more stable, more realistic realm. And I think that's great to see for all markets, especially housing. Thank you so much for watching. If you like content like this, please click subscribe. I'm always trying to keep you up to date with what's going on in the Charleston market, and more importantly, where to eat, what's fun to do around town, and what it's like to live here. So I would love your follow, and as always, send me a DM or comment below if you have more questions. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.